So, Jay Brucifer was very thankful and thoughtful to tell us that I actually had everything muted. Wah, wah, wah. So we're gonna have to start over from scratch. Thanks, Jay Bruce. So, welcome to this week's episode of Tech Talk. I'm your host, Michael Amargon, and with us this week, we also have our co-host, Vicquell.
Hello.
Okay, since we have to go through all of that again, which is wonderful, spectacular, we had some interesting news this week, and it's pretty much, we're going to start off with gamer phones, or gaming phones essentially. Phones that were built with gamers in mind for mobile gaming. And this pretty much started off with Razer's Razer phone. You know, very aptly named. Make sure you don't not know who it's from. And it came with some whopping features. It was like a 400 milliamp battery, 120 frames per second, 8 gigs of RAM. Like, you make sure that you know this is a gaming phone. Like, there's no doubt about it in your mind at all. So then we have, okay, let me just finish up with that before I move on to the next one. They then tried to mock that up to say that you can put that in a case of a laptop, I guess you could say, and make that your, that would be the guts of your laptop. That powers everything. And that would be your touchpad and everything like that as well, which, you know, that idea never really doesn't seem like it caught on, I think.
It was a nice idea, I must admit.
It was an interesting idea. I'll say that much. I don't know about nice idea, but it was an interesting idea.
You have your phone, you're using your phone, then you go on your laptop, just drop it in there, and it turned into like your trackpad.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
It's kind of like what they tried to do. What they did with the Nintendo Switch. You'd be at home playing it, then you could pick up the thing. The little, what is it? What do they technically call it?
It's a dock.
What's the technical term?
It's a dock. That's the technical term.
Oh. So they don't call the screen. Well, minus the dock, the screen, that part, the controller. Yeah, what's that?
It's a dock.
What do they technically call it?
It's a dock.
The next part. Yeah.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the actual tablet, I guess you'd call it.
Okay, we would call it the Switch tablet. But yeah,
this is just the Switch. It's just the Switch. You play it like this. Like, this is how you play it.
Or you can play it on your screen. You can play it on the screen, pick up the Switch tablet, and you continue playing what you was playing on the screen on the go. I guess that's what they were kind of somewhat going with. The Razer phone and dropping it in the mouse, in the trackpad area.
Essentially. Yeah, the Switch is technically a tablet. It runs Tegra, it runs a Tegra Core chipset. Yeah, exactly. So it's like the NVIDIA Shield, which is a tablet, gaming tablet. Just for Nintendo, I guess.
They're gonna have a technical term.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Tegra X1, which is the reason why it was recently hacked. Well, hacked in a good way, which means homebrews and they can port apps over and do their own kind of thing with it now. But that's not what we're talking about today, because that can kind of have its own thing. But yeah, so the laptop shell essentially was a dock, which, you know, fed from the a good way to think about it is like what they do with the Samsung DeX. You just connect it and it creates a computer screen monitor setup for you in a sense. But the next phone that came out was a phone called it's from Xiaomi. It's called the Black Shark. It was $480. It was supposed to take on the Razer phone, pretty much. And it starts off by telling you that, you know, it's got liquid cooling inside of it, which, you know, should be interesting. It's something that's been asked for years now. Samsung kind of gave it a very half-assed attempt with its gel cooling system, I guess you could call it. Which kind of, when I learned about that, I just went like, that's not liquid cooling. And I spoke to the Samsung rep who was talking about it, and he's like, yeah, it's not. And he just kind of gave me a look, just like, I know, I'm dying on the inside as well. But it's got some, the Xiaomi one has some interesting features. It's got a rubber backing, so you can really hold on to it, for starters. It's got a good size to it. It's got full HD, which I think it doesn't have quad HD, I think it is, which the Razer phone does, which is 4K. I think the Razer phone is 4K with 120 frames per second. I think so.
I think it is as well.
But it's got a Snapdragon 845, which is pretty powerful within itself. The liquid cooling system that I mentioned earlier also brings the temps down for up to 8 degrees Celsius, which really helps, especially when you're playing those more powerful graphic intensive games. Then you've got the dedicated button on the left hand side, which allows you to kick your phone into high performance mode. So make sure, you know, you're getting the most performance from your phone for this game. It's got dual stereo sound, and much like the Nintendo Switch, it's got a little Joy controller, right, like that. That's kind of built inside the thing that you pretty much would push the phone into. So it's kind of like, well, you do it like this. It's kind of like that, and then you play it, so on and so forth. I guess that's probably the better way to show it, which is an interesting idea. Whoa, okay. That was not supposed to happen. Hey Google, stop.
What then?
Hey Google, stop. Stop. Okay. Right, so other specs, you know, it's got a 12 megapixel and a 20 megapixel camera in the back. It kind of looks in like a Mophie, except it doesn't take over the entire phone. Yeah. Yeah, so the back has a 12 and a 20 megapixel camera. The front has a 20 megapixel camera. The memory can vary between 8 gigs of RAM with 128 gigs of storage, or 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage. There's no micro SD slot, but it also has a 4,000 milliamp battery, and you can get quick charge 3.0, which means that you can pretty much charge your phone up to, I think it's 70% within 15 minutes of charging it. And then it starts to slow down, and just to make sure it doesn't run out the battery. So apparently the first 50,000 orders of the phone will get the controller for free, and after that it retails for about $30, or 179 yen, because yeah, they're starting off in China.
$30 isn't bad.
It's honestly not. Like, if you are serious about gaming, like, you're gonna spend a little bit more than that just for a set of like actual controllers for like the Nintendo Switch or something. So I don't think it's bad at all. Then of course we now have this new phone coming out by ZTE, which is called the Nubia's Red Magic smartphone, which has glowing LED on the back of the phone. If you didn't want to scream gamer more than that, you know. I think it's a little gaudy of an idea, personally speaking. But Yeah, so it's a sub brand. Nubia is a sub brand of ZTE that's made in China, and it's built quote unquote specifically for gaming. Uh, it has sharp hexagonal cutouts for the camera and fingerprint sensor, with aggressive red vents and details, with the glowing LED strip on the back, which makes no freaking sense to me. The design of I'm sorry, but it just
It's
doesn't.
like when Psychic had. Psychic was different because the LED was in the not trackpad. What do they call them back in the day? Ew. The ball. I think it was trackball.
Yeah.
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 The LED was inside the trackball, so it was kind of different because you can see it and you could see which notification was which. But to have it on the back, unless you're gonna like have your phone face down, sometimes then you can set notification lights to be a certain color. I don't know.
I don't know. It's
So
weird.
they're probably gonna add that in there to give it a reason why there's gonna be lights in the back.
I don't know. Like this phone, I will admit before I get into all of this, this phone is very weird to me.
Yeah, sleek. That's like the sleek look.
It tries to go Alienware on you as a phone.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it. And not only that, like the design is weird. I'm not sure how this would feel.
The front of the phone don't look bad, but the back could use some work.
Yes, exactly. And that's where the majority of the design is, the back.
Yeah, the back could use some work, but the front isn't bad.
So pretty much what this is saying is it's a 6-inch display, which is like 2K, so that's pretty standard to what like the Xiaomi one is. But unlike Xiaomi, unlike Razer, this is using a Snapdragon 835 processor, which is not as fast, not as powerful. And it's kind of like, if you're trying to make a gaming phone, don't you want the best kind of stuff inside of it? Like,
yep.
That's my end of thinking with it. But of course, the rest of it is, quote, mid to high end, with the same 8 gigs of RAM and up to 128 gigs of storage, along with the 6 gigs and 64 gig models. So they kind of copied Xiaomi with that. Camera wise, there's a 24 megapixel camera in the back and an 8 megapixel camera in the front. I have no idea on the aperture of any of these cameras, which is the most important part.
24 megapixel?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that essentially just means that's how big the picture is. That's not saying how great the photo will be, especially in the lights. Like the lower it is, almost the better it is, because it gets more light inside the shot, so you can actually get more detail. So I don't know about that. I know Razer came out with their own, and the camera people were pretty much saying exactly.
Yeah.
They were like, this is a great phone for everything but the camera. This one's got a 3,800 milliamp battery. And this one comes up to roughly $397 in the US. There's no extra accessories or anything like that. But the thing that gets me is, if you're gonna do all of this, then don't you want to make sure that you're coming out good? And also, is this gaming phone thing a trend? Is it just like niche? Is it something that's gonna go away, or is this actually like going to continue in the future? Like that's what I want to know.
I kind of like the idea. I personally like the idea. I don't know if anybody else likes the idea of it, but I do. I thought it was pretty neat when Razer came out with their phone to like promote mobile gaming. You got to play Minecraft on that?
What is with you in Minecraft? Like Minecraft doesn't really require all that much stuff. Like
Yeah, but it still look nice. So that's like, I think that was like the only mobile game because mobile games don't stick with me. I got to play it for like a week and then I'll be dead. It basically would be dead to me. But Minecraft was one that I can play it for a while. I may uninstall it, but I may always reinstall it and play it again for a while. Like it sticks when I want it to stick.
okay, I mean I can understand that. I can understand that. Um Now the thing that gets me with this though is I know they were trying to come out with high performance devices. Like this was like with Google's Nexus devices kind of. Like they were trying to go state of the art while keeping the phones cheap originally. Originally, that's what they were doing. And then they just like boop, high prices, everyone, let's follow Apple. And that's kind of been the trend. And now these gaming devices, they're actually fairly cheap.
Yep.
So it's kind of like
Actually, the ZTE, which you just was speaking about.
mm-hmm.
I didn't expect it. I expected the one that you just was speaking about. I was expecting it to be like $100. Well, in the US, $300.
Yeah.
I was expecting a bit more.
So I mean, it's interesting the pricing this is happening with this stuff. More so because of how things have been priced out before. So, I mean, the trend of the gaming phone is a little weird to me. But if we can get high-end performance with cheaper prices,
Yep, I'm down.
I'm all for it. Now, there's something else that we were kind of talking a little bit about before inside like our WhatsApp group, and that's something called RCS. Now, for those of you who don't know what RCS is, it pretty much means rich communication services. And it's essentially what's going to replace you being able to text. And not only that, it's pretty much going to replace a lot of other ways of... Okay. It's going to replace a lot of the ways how you would be able to send messages. Like with MMS, you had to have particular settings. The other person would have to have MMS.
Yeah, I feel like MMS never worked for us.
It worked, but how should I put this? It never really took off. Like it was never really promoted well enough.
No, so we have it.
Yeah, we have it. Like I've sent messages to other people here with MMS, and it's worked without a problem.
Interesting.
Actually, let me see if I could send you something.
I know back in the day, you know, when phones didn't have a QWERTY keyboard on the touchscreen, it was the regular ones. And I know that the MMS was the option there, but I just feel like it never worked for us. Like back then I tried and I got the error message and I just never bothered to try again. And like we got all these other, got iMessage, you have WhatsApp, got BBM, when BBM had its high crave back then.
Wow, okay, so we're getting spammed on Mixer. So let me see if I could send you this message while I'm dealing with that. And banning this other guy. Wow. Okay, so that's done. So let me know if you got that text, by the way.
Let's see. Oh, I did. Oh, it does work.
Yeah.
Actually, wait. It just says image file and then was deleted.
Wait, what?
Deleted?
No, don't delete it.
No, I was asking if you deleted. It said image file and name the image file, but then it has was deleted.
What the hell? No, I didn't delete anything.
It's showing up in your messages?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, mine's saying this. Oh, you probably can't even see. No, brightness. Mine is saying this.
that is
It was
weird.
deleted.
That is really, really weird. Okay. I guess it's still got its quirks. Essentially, though, RCS, which I'm going to now start calling chat, because that's the name that is going to be going by with Google. And Google is actually one of the companies that's pushing this entire thing.
Is this going to be Google's answer to iMessage?
Yes.
I don't think it's going to. I don't know. I feel like iMessages have like a certain. iMessage have a certain crowd, and they kind of basically took over, and then Android's kind of like real late in the game.
They are very late in the game. They have had a lot of mishaps when it's come to messages before. That they really need to work on.
What was that
Everything
next one that they had? From
Orca to talk to
Yeah.
to talk, chat to talk, to Hangouts to voice, to then removing voice from Hangouts, but it still actually works kind of. To Allo, which never really took off, even though Duo did, and both of those came out the exact same time. It
had a lot of rough
messy.
patches.
Yes, yes, exactly. Are we having a problem with our stream right now? Testing. Oh, no, okay, we seem fine. I don't know. Things are being a little wonky today, I guess. Well, we've got spammers, we've got connection issues, we've got MMS that aren't sending. But essentially, yeah, so things like being able to send messages over data instead of texting. That's going to be part of it. And Google's been very interesting with the way that they've gone about this. They've pretty much reached out to pretty much every carrier in the world and tried to get them on board with this as to develop the next generation of texting.
Even BTC?
I would assume so, but I haven't heard anyone talk to me about it. So who knows? Maybe.
And we got it on the computer too? I see.
Well, there are talks about messages going onto the computer, so you never know.
They're really trying to sell their game.
So, essentially, what's happening is you can send your pictures, your videos, your little animations, your location, quite literally a bunch of different stuff over it. And I think there was something, let me see, here are all the carriers that support Google Chat, and let's see who's on this. This was posted yesterday by Android Central. Let's see, that's okay. So there's the GSMA's universal profile, which is something that RCS is kind of based off of. And there's 48 carriers on that. Then there's okay, yeah, so I don't see us on this. We've got Thailand, India, Mexico Okay, we've got USA, Malaysia, Russia, Canada, China, Latin America, Germany, UAE, the Philippines, Norway, Indonesia, Japan, Netherlands, Singapore, Africa, France, Argentina, Poland, Nordic countries, Norway, Sweden, Italy, Turkey, and the Netherlands, as well as Vodafone's UK, that are going on this. And universal profile, what that pretty much is that it allows for a single industry agreed set of features and technical enablers that are developed with the idea in mind of developing RCS. So it allows for things like capability discovery, which allows for communication between different regions. So say you're in the United States. If I send you a message over RCS, it'll work without, any particular thing happening. Because it would then be going over data as well. You could do chats, group chats, file transfers, audio messaging, video sharing, multi-device stuff, enriched calling, locations sharing, and live sketching.
With this result, iMessage and FaceTime no one go.
Pretty much.
I want to see it in action.
So if we can get everyone on it, then you may find people moving away from iMessage. But there's one downside to it. Unlike iMessage and WhatsApp and Telegram and Signal and a bunch of other messaging apps that have encryption end-to-end, this doesn't have any encryption at all and follows the intercept laws by different countries, which means that your country can essentially read your messages and see what you're sending.
Maybe it will be later on, because I don't remember WhatsApp having it first going off, and they eventually put it in after a while.
You're right, they didn't.
So they may then have it as a feature later on.
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of security experts are saying it's 2018. If you want to come out with something, it better come out with
it one time.
Exactly.
But if they're trying to get this right, but still meet the deadline, they're just pushing to get it out, and then they're going to deal with the bug later. Well, the encryption with the security later. Because then that's probably like a little small fix. But right now they're trying to make sure the groundwork is laid, everything's situated how they want it to situate, everything's running this way. It's actually working with the cellular providers. So I guess to them, that's just a little small thing for them. That's something they can easily fix later on. But I would prefer to be there when it comes out, because it's going to then be in competition with all the other apps that have then end-to-end encryption.
Exactly. So it's kind of why would I switch when I already have protection? And I think Google's being very careful. Not you, phone. I think they're being very careful with it because, okay, so for example, there was a country, I forget the exact name of the country, but that essentially wiped out, well, not wiped out, but they stopped WhatsApp from being able to be used within the country during particular court cases because they didn't want anyone using it to send out messages or anything like that, because they couldn't control it. They couldn't see what people were sending. They didn't want messages to go out, so they just put a ban in place. And so if they put encryption on this, that pretty much stops the entire RCS network for that entire country as well, since the courts can't read or see what's going on. Granted, RCS technically still won't stop texting, because if, let's say, you have RCS and I don't, when you send me a message, it's going to default to text. So, for example, like how you got the message before with no image, it will just say like you were sent an image and not give you any means to actually download it. So it would be interesting to see what they really go about and how it like is implemented. But at the same point, it's got some little bugs inside of it from here to there.
Bugs and kinks that need to be ironed out.
Exactly.
I'm just glad that they finally pushing this out. Like, I feel like I've been waiting years upon years for this. Like, I remember when Samsung had that one, it was like chat on.
Yep, that was it. Chat on. That was a while ago, and then Samsung got rid of it.
Android.
Wow, I remember when like I was promoting that as well, and then they just like decided to kill it off, and I'm like, okay. I'm guessing the reason why they really did that is because they couldn't really fight against things like WeChat and Line, which are more popular inside those countries, and over in like in more of the Asian areas, I guess you could say. But it was still interesting.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was going to kick off like the Bahamians wasn't interested in that. They're just interested in WhatsApp.
Pretty much. Even though back then there was the whole thing that WhatsApp would eventually go paid to use it. Like that was legit the plan. Even on WhatsApp's like WhatsApp.com, they're like right now it's a free trial.
Yes, I remember that.
That's the reason why like every year or so like they extended it.
Yes, mine because like when I first downloaded WhatsApp, I had like maybe 2 contacts on my phone that used WhatsApp. That was back when everybody saw on their BBM hype, and I had WhatsApp on my BlackBerry, and I saw that they had a little like the trial thing. I thought, okay, I expected it to end, and then like when it came close down to the expiration time, it would automatically renew and give me another year. But it did that for all other phones but iOS, because back then WhatsApp was 99 cents on iOS devices, and that was like their subscription right there. Look how far WhatsApp coming. Now it's free.
It's free, and now it's owned by Facebook. Even though they say it's not listening to you, whatever you talk about on WhatsApp, then you end up seeing on Facebook.
It's listening to them. I believe so for real.
They say, like Zuckerberg said inside the Congress meeting, it doesn't, but I still don't trust that.
I was speaking about TIBC and WhatsApp, and when I went, I think it was either Instagram or Facebook, and it was there.
I've shown you evidence like of conversations you and I have in WhatsApp, and it just ends up on Facebook like the next day or something like that. Like it's creepy. I don't trust Zuckerberg with that. Like his comments on that at all.
I feel like everybody's always listening.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, you kind of expect that nowadays.
Yeah.
Kind of sidebarring this a little bit though. It's Amazon came up with something else that's kind of weird. I think that's probably the best way I could describe it. It's so you know how they allowed you to like give the delivery guys access to your homes to drop off the packages and supposedly then leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now they have something where you pretty much give them access to the back of your car, which can then be very weird because there are ways to get from the back of your car into your car. Like,
I don't.
Some cars actually have that built in. Like you peel back the back, and you can go in between the car seats, or push back the car seats, or pull down the car seat. So it's kind of like,
then like so anybody could be watching when he puts that in your car trunk. And if you're going to be parking that same spot all day, say you're at work and there's a parking lot, when he puts that in your trunk and you're in like your office, someone can just come and break into your car, go into your trunk, and take out your package. And you won't even know because you're in the office, like a couple feet away. So, yeah.
Essentially how this one works though, instead of them getting like a smart key and you having to buy that and stuff like that from Amazon, and then they like do that whole thing with like what they do with getting into your home. Apparently Volvo and General Motors have partnered up with Amazon for this. So if you have a 2015 or newer connected Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or Cadillac vehicle with an active OnStar Access subscription, or a Volvo car with an on-call account, you can pretty much use this feature if you're in the United States and in select cities, because there's only 37 cities right now that have this available. Amazon, their comment towards it was that customers have told us that they love features like keyless guest access and being able to monitor their front door from anywhere with the Amazon Key app. And then they said that in-car delivery gives customers the peace of mind that allows them to take the Amazon experience with them and with no additional hardware or devices required. So this is essentially relying, instead of hardware, that you need to have a monthly or annual subscription with your car company's OnStar or on-call account. And this is definitely isn't for everybody. I'm not sure if they're aiming for other places, but I personally think if they want to get people, they kind of are going to have to get rid of that whole on-call, on-car thing. Or move past just using that.
I know it isn't for me.
I mean, I personally wouldn't be using it, period, because I don't want anyone going into the back of my car. So that's
So when you like pitch an idea, people got invested into it, and now you're taking an extra mile. So they did the one where they come to your house and put the packet on the inside of your home for you, and then like now they're doing it for your car. Kind of stretching.
And apparently there are also restrictions. Like you can only buy something that's worth up to $1,300, and it has to be bought from Amazon. No third-party vendors from Amazon.
Yeah, they're definitely marketing towards a certain class.
And then if it's 50 pounds or more, or larger than 26 by 21 by 16 inches, then you have to sign for it, which kind of defeats the entire purpose of them putting it in your car. Because then why? Like, just bring it to me. But I don't know. This whole thing seems sketchy.
Making people lazy.
Not just that, it just seems sketch, like legit sketch to me. But then again, we have places like Snapchat doing spectacles 2.0, and like, why?
I honestly thought they died from like 1.0. I didn't realize that they continued it.
I thought they didn't do well, period. And now all I saw today were like, oh hey, like Snapchat Spectacles 2 is out, and I'm like, why are they out?
I just seen how to pair them on in one of her videos. They look kind of, I don't know. I guess they gotta stay relevant somehow.
No. And the fact that they launched with a price of $150 for these things that only post to Snapchat, which is dying, or at least should be dying.
Should be dying. I feel like it should be dead by now, but people won't let it die.
And hold on, get this. Version 1 only sold 220,000 pairs of the device, which I mean is admittedly fairly a fair good chunk of change. Because even if you go by the new price, that's $33 million that they made from that. That's actually kind of scary. People were willing to give Snapchat $33 million.
You see why they can do version 2.
Oh boy. And apparently the version 1 had limited functionality, tricky exports like to Snapchat, and very weird hues with their videos.
And they fixed all that in version 2.0?
Not all of it. Apparently now it's a little bit more stylish, but when I look at it, it looks almost the exact same.
Exact same. Yeah, I thought so as well. I didn't see a big difference.
Yeah. Apparently they go on sale in the US, Canada, UK, France, and 13 other European countries. Well, the other, outside of the US, they go on sale May 3rd. Let's see. Apparently version 1 was to get people comfortable with the idea. Which makes sense given what happened with Google Glass. Like, that was the whole thing. People weren't exactly comfortable about it.
I thought that was so cool. I remember my IT class, and the teacher showed us, like when I was in high school, my teacher showed us the video for that. I was just like, wow, this is so cool. And then like years later, like it's nowhere to be found.
And all pictures and videos on YouTube.
It was a neat idea, I'd admit that. But the Snapchat glasses, Snapchat spectacles, I don't know. I'm not for them, but I guess it's not for me, so that's probably why I'm not for them, but it may be for other people. I guess persons that need to Snapchat everything in their daily life.
I don't know. I'm trying to find like the real reason here, and apparently, okay, so this new version is actually $20 more expensive than the old one because the old one was $129.99. I'm not sure what that sound is. Oh, how would anyone be comfortable streaming everything in front of them that often?
See?
That's kind of it. And not only that, whenever you are recording video, essentially, it comes up with these little like lights on your glasses to say that you're recording. It's kind of like, why? Like,
I was gonna give people like the heads up. I guess that's more like a kind of sort of disclaimer-ish thing, because if they didn't have it there, then they probably would have gotten sued for not having a light indicator to say, you know, hey, I'm recording it, because someone would have been recording somebody, might have posted it, person might have found out, take Snapchat to court for it. I said that's probably what someone would do. So that's probably why they have it there.
Maybe. Well, I mean, this is ugly as sin. Wait. I don't know. Let me see. They apparently have enough battery and memory to record and transfer 7 videos over a week on normal charge, plus carry 4 extra charges in the case. So there's apparently a battery in the case, which is a yellow case, which is 1/3 smaller than previously. So
the yellow case is cute. I'd admit that. I think the case is cute. I like the color, but the glasses, no.
So, Lee, what pretty much that they are, you're not streaming from these, you're just recording or taking pictures. And anytime that you're recording or taking pictures, the light comes on. And it's not inside the lens so much as it's like, imagine my glasses and then there are two circular things like right here. And those light up. So it's like outside of my vision, but like you look at me and you know I'm doing something. Then again, I'm wearing these weird ass glasses regardless, so I'm probably doing something anyway. Let me see if I could show you the show you what this looks like. So both. That is essentially what Snapchat Spectacles version 2 looks like. It, you know, now I think about it, it looks like those snorkel goggles, just like widened and not like sucked onto your eyeballs.
They do.
Which is, that's not a good look, like at all. That's a horrible look, fashion-wise. Apparently they come. The thing about it is though, it's they say that it feels sleeker and less like chunky plastic than version 1. Version 1 was god awful. This is still god awful, but less god awful. It's like asking for a slightly stinkier pile of poo. I suppose that's good. It helps to let people know something is up when you're in the restroom or gym. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would hope you wouldn't have these on in those places. Like you'd put them inside your pocket. You would be surprised as to how many pictures of guys they have wearing these things. Like even in this like demo, there quite literally is a demo that they have for this article. Let me see if I could find it for you really quick.
Snapchat is back with version 2 of Spectacles.
Yeah, so this guy right here, for TechCrunch, he's pretty much wearing them out and showing them off and so on. These,
Josh.
I mean, yeah. Tell me that does not look like a pair of goggles for your eyes. Like, just outside of... Okay, so here's a little video
Colors,
for it.
a deeper blue, a deeper red, and black, instead of those crazy teal pastel colors like last time. And that means you're a lot more likely to actually want to put them on your face. Snapchat has put a lot of work into fixing the pairing process that was really clumsy before.
I mean, like...
Yeah, like it looks nice on him. They don't look half bad.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They're on him. And that was not where I clicked.
Nobody, when I was riding around...
There we go. So, I kind of get the look that they're going for, like the more hard plastic Clark Kent kind of look with the glasses, but I still can't get over like the light and then the nose bridge. There's no padding. Like, Vicky, do you have like the little nose pads for your glasses, like these?
Oh no, and I have like indentations like right here where my glasses sit on my face all day.
Exactly. Like, and these don't even like have the indentated part to go like that, like inside here. These just go whap. Stick your nose like right up inside there and like push down.
It's gonna become uncomfortable after a while.
This whole thing seems like it's still got issues. You can't even use it for GoPro because this is only for Snapchat, and Snapchat is what, like 30 or 60 seconds max?
Oh, like, don't let you have an Android. Oh man. Oh, that video quality about to be so crappy.
Oh my, wait. No, it's not going to be using, like, these have cameras inside of them. So it's going to be using the cameras that's built in on the glasses.
It's going to give me iPhone quality snaps.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Because we all know Snapchat for Android phones.
Well, that's because of how they capture the image, like the video, because they were screen record versus actually building it in for iPhone, which is dumb as hell.
Now I gotta look for a video to see a comparison between recording it on the spectacles for an Android device and recording it on via the secondary camera, well, the back camera on the Android phone. I look for a video to see how it is. So I just want to see the quality because I know.
I would assume the video quality would be better, like if you were to upload both to Snapchat and look at it there.
I'm expecting it to be better as well, and that Snapchat somehow compresses it.
Yeah. Well, remember, like I was saying, if you're gonna record using your smartphone, and then use that, upload that version of it, it's going to be crappy because it's recording the screen. It's not using the, like, it's not actually recording a video to share it. Unless you upload a recorded version of a video. That, I think, would be an interesting test. So, yeah, they say it's better, and I mean, maybe it is. It does seem like it's got some things that it's fixed. It's got some interesting colors now, I can certainly say that. Let's see. Hardware hinges are now much smaller, making them lighter and shallower overall. It has an extra microphone to help reduce wind noise and balance out conversations. It's easy to long press for a photo or tap for a 10-second video, with extra taps extending the clip for up to 30 seconds. Okay, so there is a limit of 30 seconds.
Hey man, I like this time.
Either fires up the light ring to let people know that you're recording, but is much more subtle than the permanent yellow ring that was on the V1. So, like I had it up before, it's just going to have like little lights going around it. But that's still going to look weird. Like, imagine just looking across the room and you just see someone's like glasses. I'm like, okay. A lot of people aren't going to know what the hell that is. I can guarantee you, a lot of people will not know what the hell that is, and people will be upset.
Over here, maybe not, but in the States, I feel like they'd know. Well, they should know. I don't know. I just feel like they're more... should I say it? They follow tech more than us, per se, in a sense. So they should know what's going on. Whereas over here, if I walk around, say on the beach or whatever, and I'm using my spectacles, and this person may be like, oh, what is these stupid shades you got on? I lie, like that's what they're going to say. And they wouldn't even realize that, you know, like I'm recording them by the camera on the screen, on the glasses.
Oh, Lord, Vicky, why'd you have to go? See, now I'm thinking things. Because you mentioned beach and shades, essentially, and people won't recognize that these are shades. So then people are going to go onto the beach and like try to record people now. Like, rip any topless beaches, like goodbye, like you're getting recorded. All because of Vicky. All like blame this chick right over here.
No, this is an automatically thing. That's like the automatic thing that popped in my head.
Lee, honestly, I think it's just recording. Like, I don't think it morphs anyone or does anything like that. Because it doesn't really have a means to say, like, what to pick and choose.
Oh, so it records and saves into, I guess, Snapchat memories, and then you can then upload it?
I think it saves it onto a onboard chip, which then you can share over to via Bluetooth.
Okay.
I mean, the simpler thing is just put some tape over the damn, like, lights, or just, like, put something over it.
Then tape on the glasses is going to then bring more attention towards it.
Or just, like, do something like what they did with Google Glass and just 3D print something that you put over it. And this one is just a clip over it. It goes over the lights, and it doesn't really make a difference. Because you already have these two big ass lens on the side of your face, right here. Okay, yeah, so you can only add stickers and drawings after you shoot and export your spectacle snaps. So there's no adding augmented reality face filters or dancing hot dogs to what you see first person. Yeah. Syncing to your phone, requires Bluetooth and a 7-second press of the shutter button rather than a QR code like what the older one does. Exports always happen in HD over the spec's internal Wi-Fi now. So pair with Bluetooth, connect to Wi-Fi to the phone, and transfers can go 4 times quicker. Can we sync your spectacles to Snapchat memories first before exporting the videos individually or as one big story to your camera roll? And they also came up with this video. So let's take a quick look, gander. See what horrors they've unfolded for us. Okay, so question. In the video, they quite literally have it where they're recording underneath the water.
It's supposed to be waterproof.
It's supposed to be waterproof. You're wearing glasses in the water. Swimming.
I have no clue. But you won't be able to. Because the water's going to come up here. It's not like goggles.
I'm going to keep my eyes open in the ocean. Okay. 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 Back to Lee. So, this doesn't actually take advantage of the entire reason people use Snapchat. I don't know anyone that uses Snapchat and not the filters. We know some people that don't use the filters, but they're not for the reasons that people actually use Snapchat. AKA a certain place that begins with M and S. I mean, there are people like that. There are reasons why people would not use filters, especially if they just want to share things that's happening in their life. But the majority of people are using filters.
Filters, yep. That's like one of the only thing keeping Snapchat alive right now. I think that and messaging. Because people tend to message people via Snapchat.
Yeah. And then share pictures and stuff like that personally, and so on and so forth.
I can't keep up. Too much going on. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Nah.
I don't use Snapchat really and truly.
Me either. I stopped.
Yeah.
A while back.
I don't have a reason to. I've already got WhatsApp, I've got Facebook, I've got Twitter, I've got
all.
Actually, that's all I actually use. Hangouts every so often. But
I have a lot.
There's too many. I'm Lee saying, so beware the guy in the urinal next to you that has held down on the edge of his glasses for 7 seconds. Dude, if I see anyone coming into the men's bathroom with glasses that look like that, that's gonna be a problem. Like, they need to put those in their pockets. Really, Lee? Like, That's what we're talking about, like text messaging applications and like things we use to talk about. And I'm not gonna use Snapchat for that. Like, come on, it's enough. Enough is enough.
Agreed.
Sorry, what?
I was saying agreed.
Yeah. Though, I mean, Snapchat is doing something that's kind of interesting. They have new lens called Snappable Lens, which you can play augmented reality games with your face. So that is an interesting concept. I'll show you guys what that looks like right now. Though, I mean, I've seen other places use things similar to it, like Nintendo and the Nintendo 3DS. Yeah. So I feel like that's a complete rip-off of Nintendo 3DS. Like, that's me personally speaking. And like the whole me thing, and like, because it takes a picture of your face. Actually, no, it might actually build up on it more than the 3DS now I think about it. Because the 3DS just took a photo of your face and used the front cameras to like move you around and like stuff like that. This is actually like using your face and muscles and stuff like that.
This reminds me of that. Like back in the day, well, before the 3DS clearly, but they had on the DSi where they had like this game where take a picture of your face.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's it.
Like little punches and stuff like that.
That's exactly it.
I don't remember the name of the game. I probably still have it on my DS, but oh man.
If I had my DS around me, like I would totally show you, but I don't know where it is. It's around there somewhere. But yeah, I don't think that's enough to save Snapchat. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I give it another year or two. Hopefully.
Say hopefully. I don't know. Like Snapchat, I think we all thought Snapchat would have died out by now. So the fact that it hasn't.
When Instagram came about, I thought Snapchat was done.
I don't know, like maybe a year or two isn't enough. Maybe we aren't giving them enough credit. Maybe they're doing something right that we just don't know about.
Probably because we're not Snapchat crazed fans, so we don't know.
Yeah, I think this whole thing is like this snappable lens, I think it's called, is once or twice, and that's it.
It's like add emojis and
give it 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's like add emojis and what's the one for Samsung?
AR emojis?
Yeah, AR emojis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy for like a week or two, and it's like, okay, I'm done now.
Yeah. Not worth the like $1,000 that comes along with it that you have to spend to get the phone and stuff like that. But you know, with these, I mean, Snapchat was free for us. They just sell our information and sell us ads. Well, give us ads. Yeah, that's the sad part about it. 220,000 units. That's actually kind of impressive when you really think about it. But as our last topic for tonight, if you have an iPhone, you may or may not have heard that the FBI and certain government agencies around the world have been looking for ways to get into your iPhone. They have run into issues with it, both with courts, trying to get the persons to unlock their devices, as well as spending a hefty amount of money to have particular companies like Celebrate, for example, unlock devices for them. There's now a device that you only spend a few $1,000, and it gives local enforcement level, like from down there all the way up, access to hack into your iPhone, and actually it would then tell you what the code is to get into your iPhone and give them complete access. That said, this made the rounds as of last week with this last week or the week before, with this particular company coming out. I think it's called the Greykey, iPhone Greykey.
That's it.
Sorry?
Oh, I said yeah, that's it.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, is that at some point this device has to connect to the internet, it seems, because there was a programming error that happened when they were making some software update or like plugging it in or something like that, where it connected to the internet, and its code that it uses to crack your iPhone got leaked, and someone was able to get into that one small like moment where it connected to the internet and pull all of its coding, and they're now blackmailing the company to say for a donation of at least 2 Bitcoin. And as of this moment, 2 Bitcoin into USD goes for around $18,479.99. That is not bad as a price, but still kind of crazy.
Genius.
Kind of. It roughly is the price of one of the devices that they use to crack the iPhones. Like the device itself is like $15,000. So I think when they
just need to sell maybe one, two, just to be safe, and it should be good to go.
Pretty much. And I mean, of course, you know, these companies, well, this company, like people in the police departments around the world are going to want this, so it's not like it's going to be hard for them to sell and make the money. It's just, how do you now handle being blackmailed as a company that cracks people's privacy?
They got cracked, cracking people's privacy.
The cracker got... Okay, I probably shouldn't use that. Well, anyway, the cracker got cracked. Because that is the technical term for like a bad hacker, a cracker. It's just people don't use that term all that often anymore. Probably because of the racial connotations behind that, but...
Probably.
Lee's saying that we have drones that will watch you hold your hands and making a camera click motion and know that you want your picture taken, which is true. And we also have tech that does have its place and it can be solved. It can solve the murder of one of your loved ones. You would appreciate it. It is inevitable that it would be used for bad, though. And I completely agree. Like, all technology has means and ways to be good and bad. It all depends on who's using it. This product essentially can be used for good. More than likely will be used as an invasion of privacy for little to no reason, I believe, since they now don't necessarily need to have as much of a warrant to have you unlock your phone anymore. They just connect it and they have access. And so there will be people just doing that. Just like how there are people who, for example, okay, so here's the thing. Some guy died. He broke the law and died. And it's because a police officer shot him. The police officer then went to the funeral, home and tried to use the guy's fingerprint to unlock the guy's iPhone. Yeah. So we have police officers doing that kind of thing, and he's completely within his rights to do it. As a police officer, it's morbid and grotesque.
Did it work?
No, it didn't, because you actually need a like heat and like it needs to be a living thumb. He's saying that he's of the belief that Apple gave them the green light, or actually in a roundabout way owns the company that making this device, which you never know. It could be possible. They made a promise to the consumers that your information was safe, but the people who would cave under the pressure of the government. This is likely Apple's way to make both sides happy, which, you know, it is completely possible. I know Celebrite isn't connected. They're actually an Israeli company, and they were the first to like crack into it. I don't know if like this company was able to do similar stuff, or if it's an Apple thing. We probably won't know for some time. And Matrix, yeah, he broke the law. I don't remember the exact reasoning behind it. I don't think they were shooting. He was driving away when they shot him. I think he was still in his. I know he was still in his car. I think he was trying to, like, they were trying to get him out of his car, and he didn't want to. Something along those lines. Let me see. Cop, iPhone, funeral, home. See if I can pull up that news article. So Florida police. Okay, God, why did it have to be Florida? Florida police shoot and kill black man to go to funeral home and attempt to unlock his phone using his fingerprint. Apparently, the Florida police shot and killed a 30-year-old black man during a traffic stop, only to later go to the funeral home days before the victim's burial in an attempt to use his fingerprint to unlock his phone as a part of the investigation. His loved ones were furious, saying that this added insult to a reversible injury, so they're allowed to pull him out of a refrigerator and use a dead man's finger to get into his phone. It's disgusting. We are fighting to find out what happened. The lieutenant confirmed that they did go there in an attempt to unlock the phone. They didn't think they would need a warrant, as there was no expectation of privacy after death. Yeah, it was during a traffic stop. They shot him dead on March 23rd. The officers approached his vehicle. He was in a gas station to perform the traffic stop due to the vehicle's heavily tinted windows. Wow. Turns out the vehicle was actually a rental Philip was driving. However, as the 30-year-old provided the appropriate paperwork to show that the car was a rental, the officer said he smelled marijuana. Officers told Philip that they were going to search him when, according to a police press release, he jumped into the driver's seat and tried to flee. Okay, so this is where it happened. Officer was identified hanging onto the car when Philip put the car in reverse and accelerated. And yeah, officer said Philip's actions caused him to fear for his life, which then prompted him to fire his weapon. And yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole privacy after death, and I'm not going to get into the reasoning behind the guy dying. But it is very, it shows the depths that local government is willing to go to trying to get into your phone.
Yep.
And if they have access to do this, for example, they would then go into his phone without a warrant, since he's a dead man, and then try to look for his marijuana dealer, or see if he has pictures and of any things that may lead him to them, and that would then raise the risk of invasion of privacy for not just him, but for loved ones of his as well. And that's the whole thing about it. Well, I mean, in this case, fingerprints work. The device goes beyond fingerprints. They actually give you the passcode to the device. So it bypasses everything and just lets you in, period. So, yeah. Like, the only way to really bypass this is to fail that so many times, and then puts that like years and years and years off, which then, you know, you're kind of screwed because you were being dumb, which officers have done before. So, yeah, there's that method. But I don't know, like, cracking the cracker, it's one thing. Having this technology available is a completely different, and I don't know. None of this really sits well with me.
It's an invasion of privacy. Well, that's just me. But yeah, I feel like it's an invasion of privacy. I mean, I don't have anything on my phone, so it doesn't really matter for me. But for persons who do have secretive stuff on their phone, then it would matter to them. So they don't want to be out and about, even if they're still alive or if they're not still alive.
Exactly. Actually, they can, like, kind of try to force you to give your password. Because the only way that they've gotten out of doing that is by saying you've forgotten what your password is. And that's why they then built into iPhones and Androids the means to, like, whenever you restart your phone, you have to put in your password to unlock it the very first time. Because of the whole, you use your fingerprint and it unlocks your phone. Whereas the very first time you start up your phone, after you restart it or you turn it back on, then it's not going to read your fingerprint.
You have to use the initial way to verify yourself, and then afterwards you're going to be able to use your fingerprint.
Pretty much. And honestly, Lee, I don't think cracking the cracker is what's going to happen next. I think regardless of whether Greykey gives them the 2 bitcoins or not, they'll probably release the source code for everyone. And then mass hysteria will probably happen. Because then everyone has now a means to crack into someone's iPhone. And so Apple will then need to find a new way about doing it.
Yeah. Because, you know, their whole thing is security. And, you know, security, ecosystem security.
Pretty much. And governments hate that.
But the consumers love it.
Yeah. Because the government hates it. For the same reason why the government hates it, consumers love it. And yeah, there are laws against self-incrimination and protecting people from it, but at the same time, you know, if you do know your password and you said as much, or they can prove that you should know your password, they can force you to do it. Or if you, like, much like the same thing with your fingerprint. If you're to a point where you can use your fingerprint to unlock your phone, you will have to do that, regardless of self-incrimination or not. They're going to say that you're hindering the investigation by not allowing them access to evidence. It's very much the same way as saying, oh, well, they say that, well, we have evidence, but it's in your safe. We need you to unlock your safe. So, yeah, they can have a warrant and crack into your safe, or have you open up your safe. One of the two. So it's all, I think they chose the name very well in saying gray. It's a gray area. Yeah. If they have a warrant, then, and that's the whole thing, getting the warrant. And for them, it's gonna be easy. It's just having the means to do so once you have the warrant that I think is the real issue. I've read enough stories about it. That's why I'm saying, like, there have been enough situations and news articles about these same kind of things. Like, there is a precedent that's already happened. That's why I'm saying it the way I am. But I think that's really it for this episode that we had really planned on talking about. And this one is probably one of our longer episodes now I think about it.
Probably.
Okay. Well, I want to just quickly thank Vicquell for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank my viewers, as well as Jay Brucifer, Lee, and Matrix for coming on and commenting and being a part of the show in that aspect. And yeah, as per usual, you can always find us back on Twitch, now Mixer, and Periscope and Facebook on 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I should say. And yeah, until next time, guys, take care. Thanks, Lee. Oh wait, Vicky, did you kind of like do that?
Yeah, good. I just did like a little piece.
Nice. I approve.